Hey guys, so the video today is should I open a bookkeeping business? Now, this is something that I battled with a lot when I was first getting started back in 2015. And the reason why was because I had just started my career in accounting, and I was seeing all these different options to start a business. Like, should I do eBay, should I do Amazon FBA? Should I start a virtual food delivery business? Should I, do some personal training? Like there's so many different business options that were like available to me. Should I do like Kindle publishing, right? And it was like the accounting and the bookkeeping business was like the least sexy out of all the businesses that were there. And I really resisted it for a long time. So today I'm going to basically tell you like what was my thought process behind it and like why was I so nervous and like starting it and like was it a good option for me? Right? Because I'm not going to tell you like should you open it, right? I want to kind of give you the ways to think about it to know like should you open this business or what type of business could be right for you. Okay. Also, if maybe you have been thinking about starting a accounting or bookkeeping business, but you want some help growing, you want some help reaching your goals, click the link inside the description, either above or below the video to book a call with myself, see if I can help you out. Okay, so back to the video. So one, okay, should you open any business? So this is a question I don't think a lot of people ask themselves. There are some people that should maybe not open a business, right? Like if you feel that you need someone to give you like to be if you need a boss. Let's say if you need a boss, you probably should not start a business, right? There has to be a little bit of like independent thing. That's not mean that you get advice from people. Like I'm not saying that you should never get advice. What I'm basically saying though is that if you need someone to think for you on a day-to-day basis, or if you like maybe having that, person that just says is looking over your shoulder and is basically holding you accountable. If you like that, then you either shouldn't start a business, or if you do start a business, you probably should invest in a mentorship program like right away. And the reason why is because once you have direction, it's very easy to maintain it, right? So, like for me, for example, the reason why I invested in a mentorship program was because, like, it wasn't that I needed someone to tell me what to do, but I liked knowing what I needed to do so I could have a clear expectation of what I had to do. I could be very consistent if I knew what I needed to do consistently, right? So that's why it was like important for me to do that. But first things first, how do you like to think? Do you like to create? Like, what is your thought process when it comes to that? If you need someone to supervise you, either like, stay with your job or get someone who can help you like in a mentorship program. Now, that's one aspect. I personally think that everyone should do a mentorship program of some kind at some stage in their career, especially when it comes to like learning like internet marketing and sales. There's just you just no one comes out fresh out the box knowing how to do sales, how to do marketing. It doesn't exist. Like the only time that someone can maybe start a business and as good as that is if they did it in their corporate job. But even then, they didn't just start out there. They had training from their corporate job, right? So that's the main thing. The next thing is going to be instant gratification. So they had this experiment in a long number of years ago, and basically they brought some children in a room and said, "Hey, if I put this marshmallow in front of you, if you eat it now, you get to have the one marshmallow. But if you don't eat it, well, by the time I get back, so I'm gonna leave the room. When I come back, if you have not eaten your marshmallow, I'm gonna give you some more marshmallows, and you can have those at that point." So they basically leave the room, and it looked like, half the people could not, half the babies, they're babies, of course, they're, like, it's half of the babies could not resist eating the marshmallows. The other half was able to resist, and then they ended up getting like more. They started following those people throughout life, and they were showing the people that could like withhold the gratification, not eat the marshmallow until the person got back, generally tended to do better in their life. Now, it's because a lot of times when it comes to like getting stuff that's good, whether that's like learning a sport, whether that is learning an instrument, whether that's starting a business, you're not going to be amazing when you first get started, right? It's like you have to learn the skills, but once you learn the skills, you can accomplish anything. Like you can literally accomplish anything that you want if you can sit inside the pain, learn the skills, and then try your best, right? So that's number one. So if you're a person that needs like, do you need to feel rewarded like right away? You probably should first Train your patience muscle. Like that's it. That's all this business model is. Like an accounting business is really just learning how to be patient until your results catch up with your skill sets. That's it. That's it. Okay. Again, it's not necessarily something that you either have or you don't have. There are degrees of this, right? Everyone's going to have their breaking point. Some people can like wait for something to work for 2 years. Some people can wait for it for 10 years, right? But not everyone is built the same. Some people can do it for 10 minutes. So everyone can at least increase where they are, but some people are going to be more gifted at it than others. So just kind of know where you are and like, what is your, ability to kind of like go through pain. The next people, should you do it? Do you want more time? If you want more time in your life, you should start a business. Just plain and simple. In the beginning, yes, your time might go down because you might be working your full-time job and you're gonna be running a business. So yeah, you're gonna have a little bit less time. But it's like again, with the instant gratification, you just give yourself 3 to 6 months, you'll be able to have as much time as you want. That's what it worked for me. That's what worked for the hundreds of other students I've mentored inside of a program. Okay. It's time to spend with your family. It's time to, go on vacation. It's time to spend with whoever you want. If you want to go take some, like, we'll say some art classes, during the middle of the day, you definitely can do that. Maybe you want to go back to school and pursue like just doing some legal classes. Like you want to pursue like a law degree, whatever, right? You have the ability to do so because you have your business going. Okay. If you want more freedom, that kind of goes along with time, right? But time is generally like the ability to kind of control your time, but also freedom can be like your location, right? Some people are like free with their time, but they have to be glued to their like, computer. I know people are like they're able to like work remotely, but they can't leave the state. Or they can't leave the United States. It's like, what? So you're kind of remote, but you're not really free, right? So it's like with a business, you're able to do whatever you want to do. Now, bookkeeping versus we'll say product models. Okay. So first we'll do business bookkeeping versus products. Then we'll do bookkeeping versus marketing agency. And I'll just like kind of split both. Yeah, we'll just keep it like this. So, okay. Why do I think a bookkeeping business is better than a product model? And we'll talk about the pros and cons real quick. So we'll say pros. Pros. Um, when you sell, time commitment is zero. Is zero. Okay. So this is one pro of a product business model. So that's like an e-commerce, an Amazon FBA, Shopify, drop shipping, etc. Right? When you sell your one product, okay, you don't have to do any more fulfillment. Once it's like going there, it's like maybe to like handle like a refund dispute here or there, but it's usually zero. Whereas for like a bookkeeping business, like once you do sell the client, you do have to do some client work. So that's one pro that a product model has. For bookkeeping, someone else can spend the time for you. So this is really cool because yes, there is some work. So like once you do sign the client, you do have to do client work now, but it doesn't have to be you doing the work, right? So you can essentially bring that time commitment down to zero. Next thing is for, let's say a pro for bookkeeping is profit margin. Profit margin can be anywhere between like 70 to like 95%, right? It's going to drop when you have, contractors and people underneath you that are doing it, but it can be close to 95% if you have like if it's just you and you have like a very small like tool set, okay? Profit margin for e-commerce is like 5 to 30%. Technically, it can be like negative infinity to 30%. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to say that. Because sometimes you can spend money in advertisements and you make no money back. Sometimes you order products and like you make zero sales of those products. Sometimes you do everything right, you sell it, but you're only making 30%. So the profit margins are very shaky, to say the least. I've had it where like, I did like a miniature, like the minimum order was like we'll say like I'll get rid of this. Minimum order quantity, min order, sometimes 100 units. Okay. Drop shipping, of course, is going to get around this because you don't have to like necessarily buy the inventory. But for a lot of e-commerce businesses, like when you do start to kind of like evolve past drop shipping and start building like your own brand with your own like customized products, you're generally going to have to take inventory. So very easy to spend, you know, 8 to 15K with zero sales. Like that's speaking from experience. I've had it where I spent like 8K, 9K, 10K and got zero sales, just $9,000 down the drain. And like, where I'm at now, like if looking back, okay, it was $9,000, wasn't that big of a thing, but at the time, that was everything to me. I was so discouraged, man. I was so discouraged. So yeah, profit margin gonna be a lot higher. One client pays 6K per year minimum. That's 500 per month. Right? So for us, our clients are generally going to pay us like a minimum of $500 per month. That equals about $6,000 per year. So if you go get 10 people to do that, that's already $60,000 per year. Versus, let's say, an e-commerce thing, you sell something for $10, right? In order for someone to go and make $100,000, what is it? 100,000, what is that? You have to send 10,000 units, 10,000, 10 units. You have to send 10,000 units required to make six figures in revenue. Remember, out of that six figs, you keep 1K to, we'll say, 30K as profit before taxes. So it's like, versus with the bookkeeping business, if you get 10 clients equals 60K, and we'll say 55K profit. This is better. Better. Crazy, man. That was the thing with the e-commerce, man. Because like you just always have to keep like going. Oh, that's another thing. I forgot to even say that. Revenue is sticky. Clients stay on average 7 years. On average, they're going to stay with you for about 7 years. Ecom, ecom, lucky to get two sales from one person. Like lucky. Like I was doing six figures in revenue with my e-commerce business, and like 90% of the people never bought a second thing from me. They just bought the first thing and just disappeared. Yeah. Versus this, it's like it's just so sticky, man. When you get to 10K per month, also 10K per 10K turned into 100K because it is recurring. Versus on the product side, 10K equals 10K. You restart at zero every month. Zero every month. Okay, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. That's stressful. This is stressful. Like to be like at zero every single month, and like you have to keep spending on ads. You got to keep like making like every. You have to be good every single month. You have to be on top of marketing every month, day, year, versus bookkeeping. You can stop marketing and still get clients through referrals and get clients through referrals. Think about it, right? That's a great business model. It's like you don't do any more marketing, any more sales, and the people you're already helping want to send more people to you. That's an amazing feeling. An amazing, amazing, amazing feeling. I cannot stress that enough, man. Like, because you don't really want your business to be a marketing driven business. You want your business to be a results driven business because then all you have to do is just keep giving good results and then keep growing. Versus if you're always doing marketing, you have to keep restarting marketing campaigns. You have to keep changing things inside of a marketing campaign. Versus when you do good work, your marketing can be super, super subpar. Okay, marketing can be very bad due to good work. Marketing for a product-based business has to be great to exceptional to scale because you're just dealing with so much competition, man. Dealing with so much competition. So your marketing has to keep getting better and better and better and better over time. Versus like for a bookkeeping business, like, hey, I offer bookkeeping. Do you know what bookkeeping is? Yes. Okay, well, let's see. This is the pricing. If no, I just give you a short spiel about what bookkeeping actually is. And if you have a business, people actually want to do it. Okay. For bookkeeping, clients know they need it versus impulse buys and have to create demand. Yeah, so oftentimes, like like in some e-commerce, it's like you kind of get like a trendy gadget or a gizmo. You find what works, and then you just like try and scale the thing as high as possible, right? Or you try and like make a new product out of thin air, like that no one's ever seen before, and like you have to like create the demand in a lot of cases. Versus for bookkeepers, like everyone already knows they need it. Like everyone has like either an accountant or a tax person or a bookkeeper on staff. Like everyone. And if they don't have a bookkeeper on staff yet, because like they're smaller, they're newer, their CPA or their accountant is generally going to tell them at the end of every single month to go and like work with a bookkeeper. It's very, very interesting, which is one reason why we talk about like building partnerships so that people can refer clients to you. Okay. Next thing, let's talk about this versus a marketing agency. Okay, so the clear winner. Bookkeeping wins over an e-commerce business. Now, Bryce, like you might say, Bryce, you're like impartial, you have bookkeeping business. Remember, I had multiple e-commerce businesses when I first got started. Like that was my first foray inside of like marketing stuff was starting an e-commerce business, right? Because I was like, oh, I'm gonna scale. I saw those ads like Amazon FBA, get your stuff inside the warehouse, you're gonna be a millionaire overnight. No. No. I was making like six figures a year on paper, but I was losing 2 grand a month in net profit. So in net profit, I was losing $2,000 to $3,000 every single month for a year, right? So on paper, it looked like I was doing like $10,000, $12,000 a month, but really my net profit was negative 24K. Crazy, right? But again, that's e-commerce for you. Next thing, bookkeeping versus marketing agency. I'm not going to go back over well, we can go over the pros versus cons. Marketing agency, unrealistic client expectations. So some clients expect for you to come and like work magic. Magic. Like, oh, I'm gonna pay you 200 bucks. I need for you to go and be able to like go and find me 30,000 clients. I'm just gonna pay me $100,000 per month. You can't do that? Oh, well, you're not good, so I'm not gonna work with you anymore. That happens. Or you meet an exceptional number. Let's say you get in there, they have no systems, nothing. You get them $10,000 a month. And like, well, we could have made $20,000 a month. Why we only made 10,000 a month? It's like you've never even. This is the first month you ever even had this product. You just made 10K in a month. Why are you upset? Well, I wanted this. Okay. Next thing is going to be. gray versus black slash white. Okay. For bookkeeping, you do the work or you don't do the work. The work can be done, well or badly, but there's always a checks and balance to make sure the work is being done correctly. And as long as you do the work correctly and you're in a timely manner, they stay with you. They stay. Gray for marketing. Okay, for marketing, did it work or did it kind of not work? Or did it kind of work but not to the level they want? Again, back to that unrealistic expectations, right? It leads to that. So you can lose a client after doing really well. Like you can lose a client very quickly. Um, so they say 3 to 4 months is average client duration. Client right? This is like social media marketing agencies, website design people, et cetera, et cetera. Website design is a little bit different because they're kind of selling as a product. But generally, anything where there's some kind of monthly management to help them grow to some degree, then generally about 3 to 4 months on average is the average client duration versus bookkeeping, 7 year client duration on average. That means some people are going to be more, some people are going to be a little bit less, right? But it's generally going to be right around 7 versus for another one, 3 to 4 months. I don't know. I kind of like having clients that I can depend on and like will stick with me for a long time. I don't know. You can easier to charge um 2 to 3K per month. Um, because people see it as buying money, see you as increasing sales, which is a primary focus. Right? For bookkeeping, in a lot of cases, it's very hard for you to explain why someone should pay for this service and how it's going to boost their revenue. And like most business owners under about 10 million are always focused on like growing, 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 growing. Right? So really, really under 5M, let me see, under 5M, you have to learn to explain value. Right? That's what makes it hard because if you can like explain your value, then business owners are willing to pay you. If you can't explain your value, then it's like it can be hard to get them to pay more than like 500, $600 per month. So it is a lot easier to charge 2,000, 3,000, whatever per month because people see you as increasing their sales, which is their primary focus. So it's just an extension of what they already want to do. Right? So that's the biggest thing. It's like it's a need versus a want. Easier to sell wants than needs. Right? Okay, so everyone like it's easier to sell liposuction than it is to sell work out for 3 years straight, be in pain, wake up early, eat well. Right? Liposuction equals a want. Workout, sleep, diet equals a need. They charge 20K for lipo. Lipo equals 20K. Uh, personal trainer, 200 per month. And even then people start complaining, 200 per month. Big discrepancy, right? But again, it depends on your longevity. Remember, it's like the clients will come, but the clients leave. So depends on if you like a revolving door. All that means is like we said, like you're gonna have clients for like 3 to 4 months, right? So I mean, you're gonna need a bunch of clients to stick on because like on average they're gonna like keep dropping off and there's like churning. Versus like for accounting, yes, it is a little bit hard to get someone to pay you 2, 3 grand a month, but once they do, they stay with you for 7 years, right? So it's like If you like constantly doing marketing, which if you're a marketing agency, you probably like marketing, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. However, yeah, it's just they're pretty neck and neck. It's just really going to comes down to lifestyle stress. Right? It really is about that revolving door where you're always losing clients and you're always having people basically say like, oh, this person doesn't do a good enough job, or oh, this didn't meet expectations, right? If you can live with that and just don't really care that much about that, then that's cool, right? But if you can, you're like more like, hey, I want to do really good work. I want my clients to like me. I want to get referrals, then bookkeeping is gonna win. Okay, just as simple and as simple as that. But yeah. Like I've had a student on program. A student was in was had started like a tax business. A tax business is very similar to bookkeeping, um, and he had been at $40,000 a month. That's 480 grand per year for the last 40 years. He's had some of his clients for 40 years. You're like, Bryce, why is he in a mentorship program? Well, it's not that he needed to like learn every single thing from scratch. He needed to learn how to price out his bookkeeping services, how to go and get more monthly bookkeeping clients, and how to like start building a team. Because everything he did was like by himself. So he's making like 40 grand a month by himself. Like when I say by himself, it's like him, his wife, and like a virtual assistant. Right. So ultimately, I like an accounting and bookkeeping business. It's just the model of choice for me. Once you kind of have that stability first and you have that freedom in your life, then you can start doing more risky business models like a marketing agency, coaching program, package-based kind of services, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So hopefully you learned something new. If you want some help starting this business, like you feel like, hey man, I want to start a bookkeeping business, or hey, I'm already starting a bookkeeping business, but it's just not quite going the way that you wanted. Either way, if you want help going and reaching your goals in the shortest period of time possible, click the link inside the description below. Book a call to see if I can help you out. Okay, book a call. I really want to see if I can help you out. If you've been watching this video for this long, it means you're serious about growing your business. It means that you really aspire for more in your life. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead and take the next step. Just go ahead, book the call, see if we can help you out. Let's see if our mentorship program is the right thing for you. Okay? If that's you, I'd love to see you on the call. If you're not quite ready, it's okay too. I will see you inside of the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy.